everybody. Just like I said in the video I posted yesterday when I reviewed Alethea Kontis' Trixter, I have just finished reading the sequel to it, Trix and the Fairy Queen. Just like the previous volume, this is a piece of young adult fantasy that's based off of fairy tales. And just like the previous one, the main character is Trixter Woodcutter, who is the foster brother / cousin to the seven sisters who are the main stars of the Woodcutter series that she wrote. And Trixter is if you don't remember or haven't watched that previous video, he's got a lot stronger fairy blood than the Woodcutter sisters. And he is very tricksy, and he has the ability to talk to animals. And he is traveling around with a girl who's made out of gold who we met in the previous book. And also his sister Thursday, who we also met in the previous book. So if you haven't read that, well, then you really shouldn't be watching a review of the second book, should you? You should read the first book first. I don't give a crap about spoilers, so if I'm spoiling the first book to you, that's just tough. You should read it before you watch a review of the second. Now then, why don't I give you a quick reading from the first chapter? Lavinia, watch this. Trix leapt off the branch and flew above the forest floor. The sparrows would not have called it flying. Squirrels, on the other hand, knew exactly what he meant. Trix stretched out a hand and caught the vine he'd been aiming for. He wrapped his elbow around it and prayed it was sturdy enough to catch his weight. It was. With a holler, Trix let the vine carry him into a high arc. He turned a quick somersault in the air, but instead of straightening out for a clean dive, he kept his body pulled into as tight a ball as he could manage. Lasinia's shrieks of joy as he hit the water made him smile. Once below the dappled surface, he stretched out in the water, kicking toward shore. A school of minnows scurried through his hair, and a medium-sized trout brushed silkily against his belly. This inlet was warm compared to the cool of the night. The last time he'd been swimming, he hadn't needed to breathe air. But that had been a wish, granted and run its course. Lavinia jumped up and down as he resurfaced. Her gleeful clapping clanked like an enthusiastic cowbell as her gilded palms met again and again. Thank you, he said with great condescension. That is without a doubt the largest splash I have ever made in my life. Thanks to Papa Gatto's enchantment, he now possessed the taller, heavier body of a young human man, and not the lithe scrawniness of a fey boy of the same age. My turn, cried the golden girl. You don't think the water will? But it was too late. Lavinia had already leapt from her spot on the bank. Clothes and all, there was little grace to her entrance, but her splash was epic. Trix gave a proud shriek of his own, blinking the salty droplets out of his eyes, as his body bobbed up and down in her wake. And as you might remember if you've actually read the first book, Lavinia is his companion, the girl who's made out of gold, so you can be sure that jumping into a lake when you're made out of solid gold is not a good idea. And, they run into a lot of other trouble, because basically in this volume, Trix gets diverted from the quest he was on originally, because the Queen of Fairies sends out a psychic call for help. Because apparently some evil force, which not surprisingly turns out to be his evil Aunt Sorrow, who's pretty much the villain in every single one of these books, has captured all of fairies' magic, which has caused all of the fairies or fae, if you want to call them that, who are shapeshifters, to be stuck in their animal forms. And they're pretty much running amok, and there's other things that are running amok too and causing all kinds of trouble. So, she sends out word to Trix to come and save the day. And that's pretty much the plot. He mostly focuses on Trix trying to save the day and Lavinia helping him. And, he meets up with his sister Thursday. I think I was wrong. They don't meet until partway through this book. It's not at the end of the last one, but it's pretty much announced from very early on that they're going to meet, so it's not really a spoiler. And, they don't actually spend all that much time together, really, because this is Trixter's story, and he's the one who does most of the work. Though Lizzie does a fair amount, too, because, she's the strong female figure. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one. I don't think it was quite as good as the first volume in the series, but it was still really good. And whenever the next volume is out, I'll be sure and download a copy. And I will certainly read the rest of the books that she writes set in this world. Especially, I hope she writes more of the Woodcutter Sisters, because I really like them even more than the Trixter books. And I will definitely probably buy those in hardcover whenever they come out. Or paperback. Whatever comes out first. And until then, I will keep reading what books I have on hand. And I will have more reviews based on them soon. So, goodbye.
If you like this video, please click subscribe or watch some of my older videos. If you think the book I reviewed sounds interesting, buy a copy. There are always links to the Amazon store in the description for this book and any other books I mentioned. If you have any suggestions on other books I could read, or any other comments, queries, insults, or anything else you want to say, please feel free to mention it in the comments section.